So next we have Lil Durk, Young Thug, and Black on Stay, which I've been running this record back a lot. Honestly, it has like the perfect mix between like Black on the laid back R&B hook, and then the cool rap verses from Durk. And I think Durk even says some real I don't even know if they're necessarily intentional, but he even says some kind of like funny, kind of cheeky stuff in here that is just entertaining, and his delivery is good. And then I'll say this, Young Thug's more of the forgettable part of this song for me, and I think Thug usually isn't very forgettable. But whether he stood out or not, he complimented the song very, very well.
Fair point. He definitely complimented it well.
Yeah, and I even have seen the music video for this, and the music video is pretty sick, and kind of just has that cool. For me, I think it's a really, really good example of like one of those dark, moody, but like smooth rap songs.
Smooth was the word that I had used a lot when I was kind of doing my notes for this song, and I definitely want to note that it's I love the melodic and melancholy piano chords on this. I feel like it's very much in the bag of like Black, but a little less so than Young Thug and Durk. So I really appreciated. I guess not. I shouldn't say a risk, because it's not like this beat is not super risky or anything like that. But
right,
it
brought into a different world. It wasn't
right.
bringing Black into like a straight trap thing. It was like definitely Durk compromising, going into a different kind of sound.
Yeah, and I had talked about this as well when we talked about Pooh Shiesty, and I had mentioned that on that verse from Durk on that song that I thought it was just kind of like run-of-the-mill and like kind of not forgettable, but just what did wasn't super impressive. Opposite though, I thought on this song, his vocal range surprised me. I thought I was almost like, is this Durk? Like I was like confused for a while, and I really liked his versatility on this song for sure. So, I think for a long time, again, I've felt this more recently. I've come around on Durk, but I feel as though that early on, I kind of put him in a little bit of like this like drill box, right? Like with the little Bibbies and G Herbos of the world, and really haven't given him enough credit for his versatility. So I will say that about this song.
Well, he's having a second wave. He's having
He
his
really
second
is.
wave, and
He
I
really
think
is.
his second wave is what's showing us that he's versatile. Because if you had known of Durk beforehand, like you're saying with Lil Bibby, and during that whole Chicago drill movement with Chief Keef too, he was one of the guys at the forefront. Chief Keef, Lil Durk, Bibby, and then even right when G Herbo was coming around, like those are some of the guys, just to name a few, that were really at the forefront of the drill movement in Chicago. So he had his run already, and I think he honestly wasn't as good as making music as he is now, which is why he's showcasing so much versatility. And it's also just nice to see. It's, you know what I mean, as like him being a familiar face, and thinking that at one point we definitely all could have just written him off as like washed.
Definitely.
Now he's kind of revitalized himself, his sound. I think he has more to pick from. Sorry, but this is your review of it.
No, it's for both of them, but I want to hear yours on your own songs too, and vice versa with mine. But no, I just thought that was like the thing that stood out to me the most about this song. It's really solid. I don't think it's anything to like write home about. I'm not like head over heels about it, but I definitely like it. How much I will replay it remains to be seen. I thought Black's voice in on the hook was recognizable, and kind of this beat worked perfectly for him more or less than the other two. And yeah, Thug, I was looking for more of like the rangy kind of wacky out there vocals from him, right? To kind of give it a little bit different contrast. But again, his delivery was very smooth, and it was almost kind of, he took a step back energy wise, right? He kind of took it down a notch. I don't know if that was intentional to maybe try to fit the mood of the song. I think that probably would be it, but he doesn't add like what I typically would think Young Thug would add, right?
I agree.
So
not to say it was bad, but I did expect, kind of like what we were talking about, the underwhelming Joey Badass verse.
That's how I feel. I sit with that.
It wasn't bad, because these are really great artists, but you'd think maybe you would have heard a little bit more.
that was really where I lied with this song was Young Thug. I was really kind of waiting for him to kind of change something about the trajectory of this song, and he didn't really do that. That, I guess, is the one critique I will have about this song, is that it's a little flat. And I think if Thug had, and I put it this way, I think if it wasn't for Durk's, a little bit of like a Durk stepping out of his comfort zone, this song would have felt even flatter. So big props to Durk for kind of holding this song together, I felt like. But overall, it's not like, out of the 6 that you provided to me, I would say it's in that middle ground there. It's not like my favorite. Certainly, not to spoil it, but the Nipsey Jay-Z one was definitely my favorite of the ones that you had sent over from your list. This again probably sits in that, like, out of the 6, it's probably like 3 or 4. You know what I mean? It's not fantastic, but it's certainly like a passable song for these 3. So
Yeah.
With a star-studded cast, was maybe expecting a little bit more, but overall,
I hear
good
that.
song.
I hear that.
Good song. I think it fits. It fits well with the, like, just like a very like slow tempo kind of like moody aesthetic. So it's fine. It's fine.
I'll be real. It's driving music to me. Like,
Late
it's
night
like
driving music, yeah.
that kind of casual. I want to listen to something upbeat. But like, I'm not trying to go party or nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna be paying attention to all the verses or anything. And I think there's some cool one-liners that Durk has on there. He's like, especially towards the end of his verse, he starts talking about how he knows like all his friends have been with this girl already. He's like, and I know that Metro fucked, and I know that nothing fucked, but I'ma still show you love. You know what I mean? And I think like that, it had some character there. You know, so it's a fun song. Definitely, I didn't expect it to be anything that like you'd be like, oh, can't wait to sink my teeth into this verse and break this whole thing down. And I think I also. It's kind of a cheat code, man. You put Black on a hook, man, and it's just like, out. Why would I not want to hear it? Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Black's incredible in that sense. He does a really nice job with those types of hooks, and on this type of production, he's really good. So yeah, man, it was a solid song.